Today, I want to talk to you about a topic that is about getting results in your business, because I see a lot of people take too long to get results. They either get stuck in their head. And so I want to give you a few opposite sides of how different people think of how you can accelerate this. One of them is this, though. I want to hone in on this principle right here. Speed and acceleration of results matters far more than getting it all perfect, getting it all right. So often we prioritize looking right, looking good, getting it perfect above results. And so then we can take too long. We take 5 days. We take 1 hour to do what should only take 10 minutes. We take 5 days to do what should only take a day. We take a month to do what could be done in a week. And I see this happen all the time. I've seen projects that should have been done in less than 2 weeks take 4 months, and then the organization that I'm working with is wondering why they're stuck. Okay? It's because that should have only taken 2 weeks, not 4 months. And so getting it perfect is actually a detriment when you have multiple steps in the process and you have to go from step 1 to step 10 to create something complete. You need to create a plan to accelerate those steps. And one of the biggest places that I've seen this happen specifically is in content creation. People making their content on social media, on their blog posts, on their podcasts. They take far too long to decide what content to make. And so I want to give you a few practical ways to do this. One of them is to write down a list of whether it's 2 days in advance, 3 days in advance, 5 days in advance, 7 days, or even 30 days. But this is a big but. Don't feel like you should or have to do this much or this little of that. So where I've seen people get stuck up is, well, Jeremiah said do 30 days in advance. Well, he said do a video every day, and I get stuck. That's a suggestion for you to help you to do that, to help you get results. The suggestion is to help you get results. Speed and acceleration matter far more than getting it perfect. Getting something is better than nothing. And so what happens is, for me personally, when I go live, when I do these videos like this, I take no more than 5 minutes to come up with what I'm going to talk about. I don't write anything down. I go live. So I came up with, people take too long to come up with content. They take too long to get through steps. So that's now my content for today. I go based on the feedback that I get from people, and every day I'm doing videos. I noticed in my group, people were getting stuck on, I suggested that they go live and do a video every single day. But I didn't realize that people were taking 1 to 2 hours to 5 hours to 10 days to come up with what they were going to talk about on those videos. The process was all about speed and acceleration. And so then people were getting stuck, not even doing their first video, or they would do 1 and then not do their second, or they would do 2 and not do their third because of how long their inner process was taking. So one of the best things to do is to accelerate whatever that inner process is for you to work. Because the goal is doing a video every single day. You don't have the time to spend hours every day coming up with that. So the idea is this. I usually do it when I'm in the shower, when I'm in the morning. I just come up with something, and then I disseminate what gets the most response from people, the questions I get, to then create my blog posts, my shortened videos. What I'll do after this video, is I grab my camera, and for 60 seconds, I summarize what I talked about. And then that becomes my short 1-minute videos right there. So that whole process took me maybe 15 minutes. And that's where speed and acceleration is important. Now, I'm not expecting all of you, because I know that people are programmed in different ways, to do this in my method where you just come up with it and you talk. So let's work practically for those of you that need to plan in advance. Set yourself a timer for 30 minutes and write down 7 topics that you're going to talk about this week. And those are going to be now your videos that you're going to do each morning this week, those 7 topics. And then you're going to do a live video, and you're going to do a 1-minute video, and you're going to then post those on alternating days. That's 14 pieces of content. And then the best one, the one that really resonates with you, that you think is going to help people, write 1 blog post around that. So what you got to do is you have to think of this. Now, a lot of people are like, okay, well, how do I come up with what to say? You have to keep in mind, who is your target audience? Who are you trying to help? Make content for the person that you're trying to help. Keep them in mind and talk about that. So for you guys, you watching this, I think these people need help getting their content done, and they're taking months to do this and they're still stuck. So now I can make content from that perspective of wanting to help you. Okay? If you take too long through those single steps of the process before you even complete the very simple first step of the goal, you're missing the point altogether. Speed and acceleration is what matters. So if you have to plan it in advance, take 30 minutes, not 6 hours, 30 minutes, 15 minutes to come up with those 7 days worth of content, and then record them. Take 5 minutes before each recording to think about your points, maybe write 3 bullet points down. This is what used to help me. So I would write down one big topic. What are 3 points I want to hit? I would put it on a sticky note next to my camera, or just hold it in my hand and then look at it and reference. And that taught me how to then do this. So I was planning in advance, but I still didn't take a month to come up with it. I don't have that amount of time, and I don't think you do either. I don't think anybody has that much time to think up what they're going to say to people on social media, unless that's all you do and it's paying you a full-time income. At that point, then you can. But for most people getting started, they do not have that luxury. And what this comes out of is a fear that if I don't take long enough, I'm going to be misunderstood, embarrassed, look weird, look bad. People aren't going to understand me, and it's not going to come across the way that it should. And that fear then prevents us from ever taking action. The fear of being right, and the fact that being right and looking right is more important than results to people. You have to shift that and flip that and realize that not getting results is actually far more detrimental than it not being perfect. And so speed and acceleration matter far more than perfection. Getting something done is better than nothing. Your 10% might be, or somebody else's 10% might be your 100%. So you don't have to go 100% on everything out the gate. Just do 10%, the best you can to the best of your ability. Get some momentum and get that done. I did a podcast about this that I'm releasing tomorrow on how to cultivate discipline and focus to get results in every single business. And it's all built around speed and acceleration of process. You need to look at your process, look at your goals, look at where you're going, and figure out, how can I accelerate the entire process? I'm not talking about skipping steps of the process. At some point, you will realize, maybe I can eliminate this step or move it to the end. That's smart. But skipping steps just for the sake of it, that's not going to work. We want to accelerate the process. So if something in your process is taking you 6 months, it needs to now take you 6 days, 6 weeks, not 6 months. Yet so naturally we're thinking of this, and then we're now 5 years down the road and we haven't even had an acceleration. We're looking at other people. We're comparing. Comparison is bringing in unhappiness. We're saying they're further along than I am. And that's because we've gotten so stuck in our head about getting it right rather than getting results. Speed and acceleration of process matter far more than perfection in this. And if you do this, if you make speed and acceleration your goal, in your process, in your content creation, in your product creation, in all of that. And then you speed up all the steps. You got like 1,000 steps ahead of you to get to where your goal is. Most people do. We don't have time to take that long through every step. Some steps will take longer than others, but figuring out strategically how to accelerate the steps is where momentum happens. And then that creates a flywheel. And then things go a lot further and faster that way. Have a good one, everybody. This is Grow Your Life. If you're not in the Grow Your Life community on Facebook, join that. Leave me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know your struggles about why it's hard for you to get speed and acceleration, where you're stuck. And I want to help you with that. I want to come up with ways to help you. I didn't even realize that people were taking weeks to come up with their video content to make until I had people tell me that. And so I want to invite you to start that conversation. Let me know where you're stuck and how I can help, and then we can grow together. Look up #GrowYourLife on Facebook and you'll find the group. Have a good one, everybody, and we'll talk soon.